You can be my wingman any day. Oh crap, it's the wrong movie. Iron Eagle, released in 1986 and is not Top Gun, and is directed by Sidney J. Furie, who is also behind such films like Iron Eagle 2, Iron Eagle on the Attack, and Superman 4: The Quest for Peace. Which, if that tells you anything about this director and the quality of his work, just let that speak for itself. And this film is starring Louis Gossett Jr., Jason Gedrick, David Suchet, Larry B. Scott, Caroline Lagerfeld, and Tim Thomerson. And the reason why we're talking about Iron Eagle today is because it was a PayPal recommendation and donation from a big-time contributor and supporter of this channel, Jeff Fry. Thank you very much for this recommendation, part of your whole bundle that you sent me at the beginning of this year, a whole bunch of 80s hits. And I've heard about this film. I think I've seen posters of it, but I always thought it was a parody of Top Gun, like how Hot Shots was in Hot Shots Part 2. But no, this film actually came out the same year as Top Gun, but it came out in January, because I'm pretty sure the producers and the studio heads were like, well, we were making the same movie at the same time as that one, but that one's got Tom Cruise, Val Kilmer, and a banging soundtrack. We have these unknown teenage kids at a very stupid storyline that, yeah, this isn't going to go well. Let's just put it in January. It's what we do with trash films anyway, so let's do it. Try to make our money back and move on with our lives. So thank you very much, Jeff, for the recommendation. If anyone else out there also wants to be like Jeff and help support me and contribute to this channel, you can select the QR code that is in the bottom left corner of your screen right now. Send over your donation of $5 or more with your movie recommendation, and if I have access to it, I will watch it, review it, and give you a little shout out, just like what I did with Jeff Fry here. Colonel Ted Masters is an Air Force pilot that has been captured by the Arab armies and is sentenced to death by their government. But seeing how the US military isn't looking to do anything to save him, the responsibility now falls on his high school son, who has a little bit of fighter jet simulation training, and he comes up with a plan with a former retired Air Force military person to steal a couple of fighter jets, fly over to the Arab countries, and save his dad from a public hanging, and make it back to America in one piece. Yeah. Did that sound as stupid as it did to me, as it did to you? My God. I've already compared this film to Top Gun, and I know that's really the big thing about this movie, is that it's constantly compared to Top Gun. The posters look the same. Situation, while we're going over to the Arab countries in this movie, it's a bunch of hotshot fighter pilots being all bro and things and being like, my penis is bigger than yours, bruh. I think I've talked about that enough, so to put those comparisons aside and just talk about this movie's fucking stupid. It does fall into the standard tropes that we got in the 80s, where the idea, at least from Hollywood, the idea was that all of these teenagers and high schoolers are going to be running the world here in a couple of years, so let's actually shoehorn them into every, like, life and death situation when it comes to, like, World War III and international relations like this movie, and let's have them make the decisions and save the day. So that's what happens here. Doug Matthews, who's the son of this Air Force pilot, who's captured, and because he's an American, and these are Arabs out in the Middle East, and how evil they are, gosh, they're gonna publicly hang this U.S. officer to make an example out of him. But Doug is the only one who can do the thing to stop the thing to save the thing, which I just don't understand. He's able to make his way onto the Air Force base. He's able to make his way through the command center and all the rooms and talk with the lead officer in charge, who's giving him all of the deets on everything. And while I appreciate that, I know that, you know, some military operations, you have to keep a lot of the information confidential, otherwise things could get out, and then the enemy could hear that, and then everything is just foobarred. But here this commander is just talking to Doug, just sharing everything to him, every single fucking thing, and then with all this information, he's able to set up a plan with this retired Air Force dude to get some fighter jets, refuel in midair, and then continue on their journey to the Arabs. Now, I will say that the fighter jet scenes are actually pretty cool. I would say that they rival Top Top Gun. There I go again, comparing this to Top Gun. But they do rival it, maybe not as dramatic, and maybe they don't have as flashy and as fancy shots as they did in Top Gun. But we do have some killer footage of F-16s doing some fun tricks in the air. But it's a small glimpse of hope on a movie that just feels like it has no soul behind it, and it gives me no reason to care about any of it. Mainly because Louis Gossett Jr. is not a good actor. At least I can't recall anything else that he has been in, but just watching him in this movie, like, I'm not behind this guy. I don't care about this guy at all. He's getting into drag races with motorcyclists with his airplane, which explained that to me, the whole racing thing. The guy's on a motorcycle, but the other guy's in a plane, but he can't go above a certain height. And they're just like, what? What? That's like if the Flash and Superman were in a race together, but Superman decided to fly instead of the Flash, like, racing on the ground. Like, that doesn't make sense. If you're gonna race, let's have you both on the ground, and then you were both running. Like, that's equal. That makes sense in a race. Here, one of you is flying and can do other things that the motorcyclist cannot. It's just stupid, and Vin Diesel would be so disappointed in them. Not to mention that this character of Doug is really just a whiny bitch. I want my dad. I want to get into the Fighter Pilot Academy. But because I'm so rebellious and I'm so young and I like listening to my rock and roll tunes while I'm in the flight simulator, people look at me in a different way and think I'm not cool. Basically, there's a reason why this film was not as popular as Top Gun. Top Gun was able to dial themselves into the zeitgeist and pop culture, whereas this film, it's just a whole bunch of whiny high school children with situations that are just so out there and so unbelievable. Like, you could have like one ask in me in a movie where I'm like, okay, that's a little unbelievable, but it's only one, so I'll go along with it. But the more times you present me with an improbable and impossible situation, and I have to suspend my disbelief the more and more it goes along, the more you're gonna lose me in a movie. And that's what this movie does. It absolutely loses me. And then in the whole climactic battle, I'm thinking, he's in this F-16, which is this fighter jet. Like, how is he going to land and then save his dad from the Arabs, the evil Arabs, get them in the plane, and then take off again? I mean, it happens here, but the whole situation is just so goddamn stupid. I'm gonna give Iron Eagle 1 out of 5 Blu-rays.
What? No!
So guys, if you've seen Iron Eagle, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below and let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you the next time I release my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.